Ava Collins waited until her boyfriend left for the restroom. Her hands were shaking under the table, but her face stayed calm. The moment he turned the corner, she raised her hand slightly and closed it into a fist beside her plate. 2 seconds, no more. At the next table, Matteo Romano saw it. He didn't move, he didn't blink. Blue eyes steady, jaw set. He knew the signal. Ava lowered her hand, adjusted the napkin, took a sip of water that she didn't want. Her stomach felt tight. The music and the talking around her sounded far away. She didn't look toward the hallway. She didn't want him to catch her watching the door. Tyler came back smiling like nothing was wrong. He sat down and reached for her hand. She pulled it back a little too fast, then pretended she was fixing her hair. "Relax," he said softly. "We're fine." He changed the subject, asked about work, told a joke, lifted his glass to the couple at the next table. To anyone watching, he was a perfect gentleman. His tone changed only when he leaned in close enough for no one else to hear. "Stop acting weird," he whispered, "or we leave and you'll regret it." Ava kept her eyes on the plate. "I'm fine." At table 12, Matteo signaled the waiter with 2 fingers. It looked casual, it wasn't. A wine bottle appeared at Tyler and Ava's table, compliments of the house. The waiter moved between them again and again with small delays, an extra tray, a check that needed a second signature. Each pass gave Ava a few more seconds to breathe. Matteo's second, Luca, leaned closer. "Boss?" "Not here," Matteo said. "Let him finish and walk her out. At the door we step in." Tyler paid the bill. He stood and pulled out Ava's chair, hand brushing her waist a little too tight for a public place. She didn't react. She picked up her clutch and walked beside him toward the exit. The host smiled, wished them a good night. The street outside was quiet, warm light spilling across the sidewalk from the restaurant windows. Tyler stopped just past the door and turned on her with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "You made me look stupid in there," he said softly. "I didn't do anything," Ava answered. "You did." He took her wrist, not hard, not gentle. He angled her slightly into the shadow by the window like he was fixing her necklace. He wasn't. His fingers locked on her skin. Matteo stepped out of the doorway and didn't rush. He didn't posture. He simply stood where Tyler had to see him, 1 pace closer than polite, the kind of presence that filled space. The host hesitated behind the glass, unsure. Passers-by kept moving. "Evening," Matteo said. Tyler stared at him, then at the tattoos along Matteo's hand, then at the way Luca and another man had drifted to either side of the sidewalk without looking like guards. "Can I help you?" Tyler asked. "You're holding her," Matteo said. Tyler let go, reflex, not choice, then smiled. "I'm not holding anyone. We're leaving." He took Ava's elbow again, lighter this time. "Let's go." Matteo's eyes didn't leave Tyler's face. "You're done for the night." "Excuse me?" "You heard me." Ava looked at Matteo properly for the first time. She recognized the suit, the clean beard line, the steady eyes. She knew it was him, the man who saw the signal, the man who stood up. "Sir, with all respect," Tyler said, dropping the politeness with each word. "Mind your business." "She asked for help," Matteo said. "That makes it mine." Tyler laughed once, quick and sharp. "Is that right?" "Yes." Luca spoke for the first time, calm and bored, like he was reading a menu. "You're going to step back, apologize, and leave alone. Or you're going to make a scene in front of that camera." He nodded toward a black dome mounted under the awning. "Pick fast." Tyler looked up at the lens. He looked back at the 2 men now standing wide enough to block the path behind him. He smiled again because smiling was his habit when angry. "Fine," he said, releasing Ava's arm. "We'll talk later." "No," Matteo said. "You won't." Tyler aimed a glare at Ava. "Call me when you're done being dramatic." He turned and walked to the curb. A rideshare crept up the block. He got in and slammed the door. The car pulled away. Silence sat between the 3 of them. The host pretended to wipe the podium inside. People kept eating. The street breathed again. Ava's throat felt tight. She kept her eyes down for a beat, then raised them to Mateo. "You saw me," she said. "Yes. I wasn't sure anyone would. You asked. I don't ignore that." She nodded, swallowing. "Thank you." Mateo looked at her wrist. The skin was red where Tyler's fingers had been. He didn't reach for it. "Do you have a ride?" "I'll call one." "Call it here," he said. "Wait by the door." She hesitated. "I don't want more trouble." "You won't get any," he said. "Not tonight." She stepped back under the awning. Her hands were steadier now. She opened the app, ordered a car. 2 minutes. She exhaled and held her clutch tighter. Luca kept his eyes on the street. "You want me to follow him?" "Yes," Mateo said, quietly. "I want to know where he sleeps, where he works, who he calls." "On it." Ava watched the cars move along the curb. She looked at Mateo again. "You don't even know me," she said. "I don't need to." "Then why help me?" Mateo's answer was simple. "Because you asked the right way, and because people were watching and did nothing." The rideshare arrived. The driver rolled down the window. "Ava?" "Yes," she said. She looked at Mateo one more time. "I won't forget this." "Go home," he said. "Don't look back." Ava got in the car. The driver pulled away into traffic, and the restaurant lights slid over the windshield, then fell away behind them. Luca returned to Mateo's side, phone to his ear, voice low. "He's heading north. I've got 2 tails on him. If he changes cars, we still have him." "Good," Mateo said. "I want everything before morning." They stood there for a moment, the night quiet again. Luca pocketed his phone. "You're getting involved," he said. "She asked for help," Mateo answered. "A lot of people ask." "Not like that." Inside the car, Ava kept her hands on her lap and watched the city pass. A message from Tyler flashed on her screen, then another, then 3 missed calls. She turned the phone face down and closed her eyes. For the first time that night, her breathing slowed. The driver glanced in the mirror. "You okay?" "I will be," she said. At the next red light, a motorcycle turned behind them and then slipped away into a side street. A black sedan stayed 2 cars back and never pushed. Ava didn't notice it. She didn't know it was there for her, not against her. Mateo walked back inside only long enough to settle his bill and speak to the manager. He didn't mention names. He didn't order anything. He left a number and a clear request. If that man ever stepped into the restaurant again with her, the manager should call before seating them. Outside, Luca checked a message. "Boss?" He stopped 3 blocks up, got out, and circled back on foot. "He's watching the corner near her building." Mateo's face didn't change. "Keep eyes on him. No contact unless he moves toward her. If he does, you stop him." "Clean or loud?" "Clean." Ava's ride slowed in front of her building. She watched the entrance, scanning the sidewalk without knowing what to look for. Nothing seemed wrong. She paid, said goodnight, and went inside with quick steps. The doorman nodded. The elevator doors closed. Across the street, Tyler stood in a doorway with his hands in his pockets, hood up, face turned away from the traffic. He didn't follow her in. He stood still and waited. Half a block down, Luca leaned on a corner, lighting a cigarette he didn't smoke. 2 more of Mateo's men sat in the sedan with the engine off. The street looked normal. It wasn't. Mateo checked his watch, then looked back toward the river. He didn't like loose ends at night. He didn't like the thought of her phone lighting up with threats and apologies. He pulled out his own phone. "Hayes," he said when the line picked up. "Romano, to what do I owe the pleasure? You'll have footage in your inbox in 10 minutes. Street camera outside Vittoria. Man grabbing a woman's wrist. You'll know which one when you see it." "And why are you helping me help you?" the detective asked. "Because she asked for help," Mateo said, and ended the call. In her apartment, Ava locked the door and slid down to the floor for a long minute before standing again. She filled a glass with water and left it untouched. She put her phone on the counter and watched the screen light up with another message. She powered it off. Through the window, the city lights blinked. She pulled the curtain closed and leaned her forehead against the cool frame. She wasn't safe yet. She knew that. But for the first time in a long time, she felt like someone had seen her and done something. On the street, Tyler finally moved. He checked his phone, swore, and stepped off the curb. Luca straightened from the wall. The sedan's headlights flicked on without glare. A quiet engine started. Matteo slid into the back seat of his car and gave a single instruction: don't let him near her door. The driver pulled away from the restaurant. The city opened in front of them like a grid of choices. Matteo leaned his head back, eyes closed for a second, then open again, sharp and clear. Tonight was simple. She asked. He answered. Tomorrow would not be simple. The morning after, Ava Collins woke up to the sound of her phone buzzing across the counter. She didn't touch it. She stared at the black screen and felt that familiar weight in her chest, then forced herself to breathe. The apartment was quiet. Sunlight cut across the floor. For a few seconds, nothing moved. She turned the phone back on. Messages stacked one after another from Tyler. Apologies, demands, questions, the usual swing from sweet to cruel. She didn't answer. She blocked his number, then unblocked it, then blocked it again. Her hands shook. She set the phone down and walked to the sink. When she came back, there was a new message from an unknown number. No text, just a short video clip. A street camera angle, the sidewalk outside Vittoria. Tyler's hand closing around her wrist. The way she flinched, the second he looked up and saw Matteo Romano standing there. The clip ended. Another message followed. Unknown. If he harasses you, report it. Keep this video as proof. No name, no request, no pressure. She knew who sent it anyway. Ava watched the clip again, then saved it in 3 different folders and emailed it to herself. She held the phone for a long beat, then typed back, Ava, thank you. No reply came. She didn't need one. She showered. She dressed in jeans and a soft sweater and tied her hair up. She told herself she had work to do and bills to pay and a life to protect. She put on her shoes and opened the door. The doorman looked up. Morning, Ms. Collins, he said. Your visitor is waiting. Her stomach dipped. Visitor? He nodded toward a small arrangement on the credenza. White tulips in a clear glass vase. A simple card leaned against it. Ava stepped closer. On the card, 5 words in neat handwriting. Sleep. Eat. Call if needed. MR. No phone number. She almost laughed. Then she turned the card over. There it was, written small on the back. She read the number twice and put the card in her bag like it was fragile. Who delivered this? She asked. A courier, ma'am, the doorman said. Left 10 minutes ago. Outside, the air was crisp and clean. She walked to the corner cafe and sat by the window with a coffee she barely tasted. Her thoughts kept pulling back to last night. The fist, the stare, the calm way that man had stepped between her and chaos and made everything stop. She'd been seen, and not as a problem, as a person. Her phone buzzed again. Mia Parker. Mia, are you okay? Ava, I'm fine. I'll tell you later. Mia, I swear if he. Ava, later, promise. She slipped her phone into her pocket and tried to work. She edited photos from a family session she'd done last weekend. Kids laughing, parents tired and happy. She liked that kind of work. It made sense. It didn't hurt anyone. 2 hours passed. She started to feel like herself again. When she stood to leave, she saw him. Across the street, leaning against a low wall, a man in a black hoodie looked down at his phone, then up at her building. He wasn't watching the cafe. He was watching the entrance Ava used. The hood hid most of his face, but his posture was the same, coiled, impatient. Tyler. Ava's mouth went dry. She stepped back from the glass. Her phone buzzed. Unknown. Stay inside the cafe. Don't go out the front. She looked around, pulse kicking up. She found the source 2 tables away, a man in a gray coat, coffee untouched, eyes on his screen. He didn't look at her, but when she moved, he stood and walked to the back exit. He held the door open. She followed him into the service alley that ran behind the block. Who are you? She asked. He shook his head. This way, Ms. Collins. The path opened to a private parking strip. A black sedan idled at the far end. The back door opened. Matteo sat inside, jacket off, shirt sleeves rolled, the same controlled calm from last night, except his eyes were sharper, like he'd barely slept. Ava stopped a few feet short of the car. "You sent the flowers?" she said. "I did." "And the video?" "Yes." She didn't move closer. He didn't step out. The distance stayed there on purpose. "He's across the street," she said. "I know," Matteo answered. "He'll leave soon." "How do you know?" "Because in 3 minutes a patrol car will turn the corner," he said. "He's never comfortable with witnesses." Ava swallowed. "You called the police?" "I sent Detective Hayes the video," Matteo said. "He likes evidence. He likes public places. He doesn't like your boyfriend's face." She almost smiled at that, then didn't. "You don't need to get involved," she said. "I already am," he said. "You asked for help." Ava shifted her weight, feeling heat rise in her throat. "I thanked you," she said. "I meant it." "I know." Silence held between them. It wasn't awkward. It felt like a pause where both of them waited for something they didn't want to say first. Matteo broke it. "2 options," he said. 1, I place a car on you until he stops trying. You live your life. We keep distance. And 2, you come somewhere safe for 48 hours. No pressure, no questions you don't want. You rest. You decide what you want to do next. We set rules you're comfortable with." "Rules," she repeated. "Your door, your schedule, your phone. Nobody touches you. Nobody enters your room without your say." She looked down at her hands. For the first time that morning, her lungs felt open. "Why are you like this?" she asked quietly. "Like what?" "Careful." "Because I don't want you to confuse me with him," he said. "And because when a woman asks for help in public and half the room looks away, I don't sleep well." Her eyes burned in a way she hated. She blinked hard. From the alley's far end, the gray coat man returned. "He's gone," he said to Matteo. "Squad car did a slow pass. He took a ride share." Matteo nodded, then looked back to Ava. "Choose," he said, tone even. She could have said no. She considered it, out of pride, fear, habit. But the truth was simple. She hadn't slept well in weeks. She couldn't keep living in this jump, and she trusted him more than she trusted the people who pretended not to see her last night. 48 hours, she said. "Okay. I have to grab a bag. I'll have someone bring it. You don't go back alone." She hesitated again. "You'll send a stranger to my apartment." "No," he said. "I'll go. You'll be in the car with Elena." He nodded to the gray coat man's partner, a woman who'd appeared without a sound. Short hair, steady posture, warm but guarded eyes. "She stays with you. You tell her what to pack. She doesn't open anything without you saying yes." The woman stepped closer. "I'm Elena," she said. "We'll FaceTime while he's upstairs so you can watch." Ava exhaled. "Okay." They moved as a simple chain. Ava slid into the back seat with Elena. Matteo closed the door gently as if she were glass. The sedan pulled out without a sound. It took less than 10 minutes to reach Ava's building. Elena stayed with her in the lobby while Matteo went upstairs alone. He moved with quiet confidence, hatless, hands steady by his sides. Ava watched him on Elena's phone as he knocked, waited, then used a key the doorman handed over. He didn't touch anything he didn't need to. He put a small overnight bag on the bed and turned the camera toward the closet. "Tell me," he said. "The gray sweater," Ava said, voice small to her own ears. "Jeans, black flats, the blue shirt in the third hanger, and the old photo album on the top shelf, the white one." He found each item and held it up without comment. When he reached the album, he paused. "This?" "Yes." He packed everything neatly, zipped the bag, then stood very still. On the screen behind him, a shadow crossed her hallway. Ava sat up. "Matteo." He didn't turn his head. "Elena, send the car around the back." Elena was already moving. "On it." Ava's heart slammed. "Someone's in there," she whispered. "I know," Matteo said. He set the bag down without sound, then stepped to the side of the hall where the wall was deepest. The camera view cut to black for a second as he covered the lens. A muffled voice echoed, a male voice, familiar and mean. "You think you can run from me, Ava?" "Tyler." Ava's hands went cold. Elena's palm pressed lightly to her shoulder. Steady pressure, no words. The next sounds were simple. A sharp intake of breath, a collision with the wall, a thud, then silence. Mateo's voice came through even. "You're done," he told someone on the floor. A second later, he uncovered the camera. Tyler lay face down with his hands pinned behind his back by a zip tie. Mateo didn't look winded. He didn't look pleased either. He lifted the bag. "I'm coming down," he said. In the lobby, Ava stood on shaky legs. The elevator dinged. When the doors opened, Mateo stepped out first, scanning, then met her eyes. He handed Elena the bag, then looked back to Ava. "You're okay?" he said. She nodded, breath thin. "You?" He gave a small nod. "He won't bother you today." "What happens now?" "Detective Hayes picks him up on an old warrant," Mateo said. "We keep you moving for a day or two. Then you decide if you want a restraining order, a new lock, a new routine, or a new city." "I don't want a new city," she said. "I like my life. I just want it back." He held her gaze. "Then we take it back." They drove to a condo on the river with secure parking and a private elevator. The space wasn't flashy. It was clean and quiet, with big windows and a kitchen that looked used. Elena showed Ava the guest room. Fresh sheets, a lock on the inside, a small note on the nightstand. "This room is yours. If you need anything, ask Elena." Mr. Ava ran a hand over the smooth duvet. "I don't know how to do this," she said. "Do what?" Elena asked. "Be looked after." Elena's smile was small and kind. "Start with a shower and a meal," she said. "The rest after." Ava showered hot enough to steam the mirror, then changed into the sweater and jeans. When she came out, the apartment smelled like garlic and tomatoes. She hesitated in the doorway. Mateo stood at the stove, sleeves pushed up, stirring a pot. The sight didn't match the stories she'd heard about men like him. It didn't match last night's hard edge either. It was simple and human. He noticed her and stepped back. "I cook when I don't like the day," he said. "Sit." She sat at the counter. He served her a bowl and slid a plate of bread between them. He poured sparkling water into a glass and set it by her right hand. Then he sat across from her, not too close. She took a bite. It tasted like warmth and quiet. "Thank you," she said. "You're welcome." They ate without many words. When she slowed, he didn't push. When her hand shook holding the glass, he looked away to give her space. When she finished, he reached for her empty bowl and paused. "May I?" he asked. "Yes." He rinsed the dishes. She watched his hands move, steady, practical. The scars across his knuckles said more than any rumor. "How long?" he asked without turning. "With Tyler?" "Yes." "A year," she said. "The first months were good. Then it changed. And I kept telling myself it would change back." He set the bowl down. "It doesn't," he said. "I know," she answered, voice low. He faced her again. "This is important," he said. "You don't owe me a story. You don't owe me anything. If you want me to stop asking questions, say so, and I will." She held his eyes. "I don't mind the questions," she said. "I mind not being believed." Something tense in his shoulders eased. "I believe you," he said. It was plain, solid, and so will Hayes. "He's stubborn and loud, but he's good at the part that matters." Her mouth lifted a fraction. "You two sound like old enemies." "We are," he said, "with exceptions." The intercom buzzed. Elena answered, listened, then looked over. "It's Hayes," she said. "He has officers with him." Ava tensed. Mateo's voice stayed level. "Bring him up." Detective Jordan Hayes walked in wearing a suit that needed a press and a face that didn't care. He took in the room, then looked at Ava first. "Ms. Collins," he said, calm but not soft. You're safe? Yes, she said. He nodded once, then turned to Mateo. You really know how to brighten my mornings. You got the video, Mateo said. I did. Hayes shifted, eyes back to Ava. We picked up your boyfriend downstairs. Old assault complaint plus last night's footage buys us time. He'll get out, but not today. Ava's lungs opened a little. Thank you, she said. Don't thank me yet, Hayes said. This kind of guy doesn't quit. We build a wall he can't climb. He held out a simple card. New phone, new number, new locks. I'll have a victim advocate call you. You choose what you want. Nobody decides for you. Ava took the card. Okay. Hayes glanced at Mateo again. And you, he said. Don't make me regret this truce. Do your job, Mateo said. I'll do mine. Hayes snorted. Your job is illegal. Not today, Mateo said. Elena's phone buzzed on the counter. She picked it up, read, and her face shifted. Boss, she said, voice low, we have a problem. Mateo's eyes cut to her. What is it? Rocco Bellini sent men to the garage where we left Tyler's car. They're towing it under a shell company, and there's another message. She handed Mateo the screen. A photo of Ava leaving the cafe that morning. A red circle drawn around her wrist. Text under it. She looks good, afraid. RB, Ava felt the room tilt a fraction. Mateo didn't raise his voice. He didn't change his posture. He set the phone down with care. Hayes cursed. Bellini, he said. Of course. Ava looked between them. Who is he? The wrong kind of attention, Hayes said, and the reason I hate charity galas. Mateo turned to Ava. The 48 hours just changed, he said. We're going to make a plan tonight. You don't go anywhere alone, not the hallway, not the elevator. She nodded, feeling her pulse in her throat. Okay. He took a breath. You're safe here, he said. Not because I say so, because we'll make it true. For the first time that day, she let herself meet his eyes and hold them. I believe you, she said. The moment lasted one beat too long to be neutral. Hayes noticed and didn't comment. Elena didn't look up. The intercom buzzed again, 3 short pulses. Elena's head snapped toward it. That's the garage alarm, she said. Motion near the private entry. Mateo moved first. Positions, he said. Lights low. The apartment shifted from quiet to controlled movement in seconds. Elena handed Ava a small device with a single button. If I say now, press it, she said. What does it do? Brings the building to us. Ava's mouth went dry. She gripped the device and stood behind the island. The elevator indicator moved, down, then up, stopping at their floor. Hayes drew his weapon and took cover behind the column. Mateo didn't draw anything. He stood a few steps in front of Ava, shoulders squared, head tilted slightly, listening for the scrape, the breath, the tell. The elevator doors slid open. A man stepped out alone, hands lifted to show they were empty. He wore a suit without a tie and a smile that didn't match his eyes. Evening, he said. I'm here to make an offer. Elena whispered, almost on air. Bellini's lawyer. Hayes didn't lower his gun. He can make it from the hallway. The man kept smiling. Mr. Romano knows what we want, he said, and we know what he cares about. His gaze flicked to Ava for half a second, just enough to make the meaning clear. We can end this fast, or we can make it long. Mateo's voice was calm. You came to the wrong door. Did I? The man asked. He turned as if to press the elevator button, then stopped and lifted a second phone from his pocket. The screen glowed with a live feed. A tight frame. Mia Parker outside her apartment, keys in her hand, laughing into her phone. Behind her, a car idled at the curb with its lights off. Ava's grip on the device tightened until her knuckles hurt. Mia, she said, barely sound. The lawyer's smile widened by a degree. You have 1 hour, he said. Then we stop asking. The elevator doors closed. Mateo stepped forward, eyes hard now, all the softness gone. He turned to Ava, and the promise in his voice was not gentle, it was absolute. We're going to get your friend, he said, and then we're going to end this." Ava couldn't sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, flashes from the last 2 days returned. Tyler's hand on her wrist, the sound of Mateo's voice, the way his presence had filled the room without a single threat. It wasn't fear anymore. It was something else, something she couldn't name. She got up quietly and walked to the living room. The city stretched outside the tall windows, all glass and cold reflections. It was past midnight. She poured herself some water and turned on a small lamp. "You should be resting." Mateo's voice came from behind her. She turned. He stood by the hallway, barefoot, shirt unbuttoned halfway, sleeves rolled. His tone wasn't harsh, it was soft, almost careful. "I couldn't sleep," she said. He nodded once, stepping closer but stopping a few feet away. "Bad dreams?" "Memories," she said. "They don't turn off that easily." He leaned against the counter, watching her with those piercing blue eyes that always seemed to see too much. "That's normal," he said. "It means you're still fighting." She half smiled. "I'm tired of fighting." "Then don't," he said simply. "Not tonight." For a moment, silence filled the space. Ava felt strangely safe, even standing near a man whose name carried weight in every corner of the city. But here, he wasn't that man. He was just quiet, present. She looked at him. "You said you didn't sleep well when people ignore things like what happened to me. How many times have you seen it?" "Too many," Mateo said. "The city hides cruelty in polite smiles. You learn to notice the eyes that never meet yours. And you decided to stop looking away," she said softly. He met her gaze. "Someone has to." Ava sat down on the couch, pulling her knees up slightly. Mateo didn't move closer, but his attention stayed on her, calm and protective. "I don't understand you," she said after a pause. "You run an empire people are scared of, but you protect strangers." "People think I'm dangerous," he said. "Sometimes they're right, but I know what kind of man I never want to be." "And what kind is that?" she asked. "The kind who breaks someone just because he can." Ava looked down, her throat tightening. Mateo noticed but didn't push. He just stayed there, letting her feel whatever she needed to feel. Finally she asked, "Will he, Bellini, really go after my friend?" "Yes," Mateo said, honest and steady. "He likes control, and the best way to control someone is to make them afraid for others." She nodded slowly. "Then we have to stop him." He tilted his head slightly. "We? You helped me. You saved me. You didn't have to. And now he's using my friend to get to you." Her voice hardened. "I won't sit here and hide." For the first time, Mateo's lips curved slightly. "You don't scare easily, do you?" "Not anymore," she said. "Not after last night." He studied her for a second, then pushed off the counter and came closer. "If you want to help," he said, "you do it my way. No risks you can't handle." Ava's heartbeat quickened as he stood near her, close enough that she could smell his cologne. Clean, warm, like cedar and smoke. "Your way?" she asked. "I plan," he said. "You listen, and if anything feels wrong, you walk away. I don't care what we're in the middle of." "And if it feels right?" she asked before she could stop herself. Mateo's eyes softened but didn't lose focus. "Then you'll know." Their gaze held for a few seconds too long. Ava looked away first, heat rising in her chest. He handed her a small phone. "Encrypted line," he said. "If I call, you answer. If you call, I pick up. Don't text. Don't share it. It's only between us." She took it carefully, their fingers brushing for half a second. It was nothing and everything. That brief contact sent a spark she wasn't ready to name. "Thank you," she said quietly. Mateo nodded. "Elena will stay here tonight. I'll be downstairs with Luca. Try to rest." "Do you ever rest?" she asked. He smiled faintly, almost like he didn't want to. "Not really." Before leaving, he added, "You're safe here, Ava. I promise you that." The word promise echoed long after he disappeared down the stairs. The next morning, the condo smelled like coffee and something sweet. Ava followed the scent to the kitchen and found a note on the counter. Had to step out early. Hayes will call you at 10. Don't open the door to anyone but Elena. M.R. She smiled without meaning to. It was the first morning she'd woken up feeling like someone was thinking about her safety before she even got out of bed. Elena walked in, hair still wet from the shower. "Morning," she said. "You slept?" "A little. Better than yesterday." "Progress," Elena said, pouring coffee. "Mateo went to meet Hayes. Tyler's in holding, but Bellini's people are watching." Ava frowned. "Do they know where I am?" "Probably not," Elena said, "but they'll try. You're not the first woman Bellini has used. That's why Mateo's going after him." "Used?" Ava asked. "You mean like—" Elena nodded. "Bellini finds women connected to politicians, bankers, anyone with leverage. He breaks them down, then owns them." Ava felt sick. "And Tyler?" "Was his errand boy," Elena said. "He brings women in, keeps them scared, reports everything." Ava's stomach twisted. She gripped her cup tighter. "So I was just—" "No," Elena interrupted. "You were the one who got away." Later that day, Mateo returned. He looked tired, his jaw tight, suit jacket off. He poured himself coffee and leaned against the counter. "Hayes found something," he said. "Bellini's people use a gallery downtown to wash money. They host charity events there every month." "Let me guess," Ava said. "One tomorrow?" "Exactly," he said. "Bellini will be there, so will his lawyer." "And you're going," she said. He nodded. "I need to make him show his hand." Ava hesitated. "What if I go too?" Mateo looked up slowly. "No, I'm not asking to play hero," she said. "But if Bellini used Tyler to reach me, maybe I can help you get closer." He studied her face for a long time, weighing the risk. "You're serious?" "I'm done hiding," she said, "and I'm tired of being scared." He exhaled through his nose, rubbing the back of his neck. "You realize what kind of place it is?" "Yes." "And you realize Bellini will recognize you?" "Then let him," she said. "Let him see what it looks like when I'm not afraid anymore." For a second, Mateo didn't answer. Then quietly he said, "You sound like someone I'd follow into a fight." Ava smiled just a little. "You already did." Something changed in his expression. Less guarded, more human. He looked away first this time. "All right," he said. "You'll go, but not alone." "Your men?" "No," he said, eyes back on hers. "With me." That night, while Elena helped Ava choose something to wear that wouldn't draw attention, Mateo stood in the hallway outside, talking quietly with Luca. When she stepped out, both men stopped. She wore a simple black dress, no jewelry, hair down, clean lines, quiet elegance. But when Mateo saw her, he couldn't look away for a full second. "You'll fit right in," he said, voice low. Ava smiled faintly. "That's the idea." Luca handed Mateo an earpiece and nodded. "Everything's set. Bellini's security detail is heavy, but we've got eyes inside." Mateo turned to Ava. "Stay close to me at all times. If anything feels off, you walk out." She nodded. "And if it feels right?" He looked at her for a moment, remembering her words from last night. "Then we finish what we started." They left the building together, side by side. No one watching them from the outside could tell that a quiet storm was already building between them, one made of danger, loyalty, and something that felt a lot like love, even if neither of them dared to call it that yet. The sound of soft jazz filled the gallery, echoing against glass and marble. Ava stood beside Mateo, her hand resting lightly on his arm as they stepped into the bright space. No one looking at them would guess the truth, that this wasn't a date, it was a setup. The room buzzed with money. Laughter, expensive perfume, fake smiles, Bellini's world. Mateo kept his voice low. "He's here." Ava followed his gaze. Across the room, Rocco Bellini laughed with two investors, his perfect suit and smug smile making her stomach turn. He looked nothing like the man she'd imagined, charming, composed, invisible evil wrapped in charm. Mateo leaned in slightly. "Remember," he said, "we're just another couple. Don't draw attention. Ava forced a small smile. That's easier when you look like this, she said. He raised a brow. Like what? Like the kind of man people stare at, she whispered. His mouth curved, just a hint. That goes both ways. Her pulse jumped before she could stop it. He wasn't flirting. Not really. But his calm, deep voice made her skin tighten in ways that had nothing to do with fear. Matteo nodded toward a corner table. Stay near me. Luca's on the balcony. Elena's by the back exit. No one touches you. No one talks to you unless I say so. Got it, Ava said. You're the boss. Matteo's lips twitched. Only tonight. For almost an hour, everything stayed calm. They mingled, listened, smiled at the right moments. Ava played her part well, quiet, graceful, blending in. Matteo moved like a shadow beside her, polite when needed, silent when not. But under the surface, she felt the tension in him, the constant alertness of a man who trusted no one. Then, Bellini noticed them. He excused himself from the group and crossed the floor with the confidence of a man who believed he owned the room. Matteo Romano, he said with a grin. I was wondering when the ghost would show. Matteo didn't smile. Rocco. Bellini's eyes slid to Ava. And who's this? My date, Matteo said. Bellini's grin widened. She looks familiar. Ava's breath caught, but Matteo's tone stayed steady. I doubt it. Bellini tilted his head, studying her a little too long. Pretty face like that, hard to forget. Matteo's expression didn't change, but his hand brushed Ava's lower back, a subtle signal. She nodded once, staying composed. Well, Bellini said, still smirking. Enjoy the art. I'll see you soon. He walked away, but Matteo's jaw stayed tight. Ava whispered, He recognized me. I know, Matteo said. That's what we wanted. You wanted him to see me? Yes, he said quietly. Because men like Bellini only make mistakes when they think they're in control. Later, after the event, they returned to the condo. The city glowed below, quiet but alive. Matteo poured a drink at the counter while Ava kicked off her heels and sat on the couch. So, she asked, did we get what we needed? Yes, Matteo said. Bellini slipped. He's running a private auction next week. Hayes will move then. Ava nodded slowly, watching him. His sleeves were rolled up again, tie gone, shirt open at the collar. Every move he made was calm, deliberate, like he was made of control. But underneath, she sensed something else. Tension, fatigue, humanity. You trust Hayes? She asked. I trust his results, Matteo said. Not his methods. And me? She asked, before she could stop herself. Matteo looked up, caught off guard. You? Yes, Ava said, heart racing. You trust me? He didn't answer right away. Then slowly, I do. She exhaled, realizing how much that meant. Then you can stop watching me like I'll break. Matteo's mouth curved slightly. You won't break. But I like knowing I'd be there if you did. Something in his tone, low, honest, protective, made her chest tighten. She looked down at her hands, but he stepped closer, stopping just a breath away. You did good tonight, he said. You mean I didn't faint or scream? She teased. I mean, he said, voice softer now. You were stronger than you think. Their eyes met and the room felt smaller. The air changed, not heavy, but charged. Ava didn't move. She could feel the warmth of him, the steady heartbeat just under the surface. He brushed a strand of hair from her face, fingers slow, eyes never leaving hers. You should get some rest, he said, but his voice didn't sound certain. I'm not tired, she whispered. Matteo hesitated for a moment, then stepped back, breaking the spell. Then eat something, he said, turning away. Elena left food for you. Ava smiled softly. You're terrible at pretending you don't care. He stopped, half-turned, that same calm expression still in place, but his eyes gave him away. And you're terrible at pretending you don't know that, he said quietly. Their gazes locked again. No more words, just the weight of what they both understood but weren't ready to say. The next morning, Ava woke up early. The sun filtered through the windows, golden and soft. She found Matteo on the balcony, coffee in hand, looking out at the skyline. "You don't sleep much, do you?" she asked. He glanced over his shoulder. "I sleep enough. You work too hard." He smiled faintly. "And you worry too much." She leaned against the railing beside him. "You saved my life. I think I earned the right to worry a little." He looked at her then, really looked, the way he did when he wanted to understand what she wasn't saying. "And what are you worrying about now?" "That this peace won't last," she said honestly. He nodded slowly. "It won't. But it doesn't mean we stop trying." Ava looked up at him, the morning light catching his blue eyes. "You always talk like that. Calm, certain, like you've already decided how things will end." "I don't decide how they end," he said. "I just make sure no one else decides for me." "And for me?" she asked softly. He turned toward her, eyes steady. "For you, I make sure you get to choose." For a moment, she couldn't breathe. He meant it, every word. Not as a protector or savior, but as a man who respected her strength. She smiled faintly. "You really are dangerous." Matteo smiled back. "Not to you." That evening, while Matteo met with Hayes to finalize the plan for the auction, Ava helped Elena organize files and notes in the living room. She found a small box hidden behind some papers. Inside it, old photographs of Matteo with his family. One of them showed a little boy on a fishing dock, laughing beside a man with the same eyes. Elena noticed her looking. "That was his father," she said. "He was a cop, died when Matteo was 16. Ava glanced at the picture again. "That explains a lot." "About what?" "Why he can't walk away from people like me," Ava said quietly. Elena smiled. "He doesn't walk away from anyone who deserves better." Later that night, Matteo returned. Ava left the photo on the table. He noticed it as soon as he came in. "You found that?" he said. "I wasn't snooping," she said quickly. "It just fell out." He nodded. "My father. He taught me that strength means protecting people who can't fight back. I didn't always listen, but lately..." His eyes met hers. "You remind me why it mattered." Ava stepped closer, her voice soft. "And what about you? Who protects you?" He smiled faintly, almost sad. "No one ever needed to." "Maybe it's time someone did," she said. For a moment he didn't answer. Then, slowly, he reached for her hand. Their fingers brushed. No rush, no hesitation. Just contact. Real. Honest. Neither of them spoke. They didn't need to. In that moment, the line between protection and affection blurred completely. The city outside kept moving, unaware that in one quiet apartment, a woman who'd once been terrified finally felt safe, and the man who'd built his life around control was losing it piece by piece, one heartbeat at a time. The night of the auction arrived with the kind of quiet that felt wrong. Matteo stood by the window, buttoning his black suit jacket, eyes on the city lights. Ava watched him from the doorway. Every movement he made looked precise, deliberate. He'd been like that all week, calm on the surface, coiled underneath. "You're thinking too much," she said softly. He looked over his shoulder. "I usually am." She crossed her arms. "You haven't said what you're planning." "I will," he said, "when we're there." "That's not fair." He faced her fully. "Neither is Bellini." Ava held his gaze. "You still don't trust me?" Matteo's eyes softened. "I trust you more than anyone. That's why I need you to listen." She stepped closer. "Then tell me the truth." He exhaled slowly, as if weighing the risk. "Tonight, Bellini wants me to walk into a deal. He'll bring people, money, and his own kind of insurance." "Me," she said quietly. Matteo didn't deny it. "He's counting on you being there, so we'll let him think he's right." "Using me as bait," Ava said. "No," he said, voice low, "standing beside me as an equal." Something in his tone changed the air between them. She looked at him, really looked. The sharp jawline, the scars on his knuckles. the steady blue eyes that had never looked away when she needed someone the most. "Matteo," she started, but he stepped closer, his voice quiet. "I won't let him touch you," he said. "Not now, not ever." Her chest tightened. "You can't promise that." "Yes, I can," he said, "because I don't lose what I protect." Their eyes locked, and the silence that followed said more than anything else could. Ava's pulse raced, but she didn't step back. He was so close she could feel his breath against her skin. She whispered, "What if I don't want you to protect me anymore?" He frowned slightly. "What do you mean?" "I mean," she hesitated, her voice trembling just enough, "I want to protect you too." Matteo's jaw tightened, something flickering behind his eyes. He reached out, tracing his thumb along her cheek, slow and careful. "You shouldn't say things like that," he said quietly. "Why not?" "Because I'll start believing you." Her breath caught. Maybe that's the point. They stayed like that, close, unguarded, hearts beating in sync, until Elena's voice broke the spell. "We're ready," she said from the hall. "Bellini's men just arrived." Matteo stepped back, his tone switching instantly. "Let's go." The auction was held in a luxury penthouse downtown. Walls of glass, black marble floors, a chandelier like falling stars, wealth and corruption under one roof. Matteo and Ava entered like royalty. Eyes turned. Whispers followed. Bellini stood near the bar, surrounded by his men. He smiled when he saw them. "Mr. Romano," Bellini said, "and the beautiful Ms. Collins. I must say the city hasn't stopped talking about you two." "Then it's about time we talk back," Matteo said. Bellini laughed. "Straight to business. I admire that." He gestured toward the back room. "Shall we?" Matteo nodded once. "After you." Ava's stomach tightened as they followed him into the smaller private lounge. A table stood in the center, 2 briefcases, 3 guards, and a thick air of danger. Bellini turned, still smiling. "I have to admit," he said, "I didn't think you'd bring her." Matteo shrugged. "You wanted proof I don't hide my cards." Bellini chuckled. "Ah, but you do. You always have." He reached into his jacket pocket, slow, deliberate, and placed a phone on the table. The screen lit up with a live feed. Mia Parker, tied to a chair, terrified but alive. Ava's breath left her. "Mia." Bellini tilted his head. "Beautiful girl, brave too. She wouldn't tell me where you were, so I had to improvise." Matteo's voice dropped an octave. "Let her go." Bellini smiled wider. "And miss this reunion?" No, I think she's safer with me." Ava stepped forward, but Matteo's hand brushed her arm, a silent warning. "Stay still." Bellini's eyes flicked down to the gesture and his grin sharpened. "You care about her." "I care about people who deserve better," Matteo said. "Spoken like a man in love," Bellini said, eyes glinting. "How tragic." Ava's heart pounded. "You don't know anything about love." Bellini's smile faded, replaced by something colder. "No, my dear. I know exactly what it costs." He pressed a button on the phone. In the feed, one of his men grabbed Mia by the shoulder. She cried out. Ava moved instinctively, but Matteo was faster. His hand closed around hers, firm and steady. "Look at me," he said quietly. "Right here." She did. His voice, his eyes, everything about him anchored her back in place. "Whatever happens," he whispered, "don't lose focus." And then chaos. The glass wall shattered. The sound of gunfire filled the air. Hayes's team had arrived early, storming the room with precision. Bellini's guards panicked, firing wildly. Matteo pulled Ava behind the table, shielding her with his body. "Stay down!" he shouted. Ava covered her head, her heart slamming against her ribs. Matteo fired once, disarming a guard trying to flank them. The flash of light illuminated the edge of his jaw, the focus in his eyes, not rage, but control. When the shooting stopped, the room was a wreck. Bellini was gone. The live feed had cut to static. Hayes stormed in, gun still raised. "He slipped out the service elevator. We'll track him." Mateo stood, scanning the mess. He won't get far. Hayes looked at him. You did good, Romano. Now stay out of it. We'll finish this. Mateo didn't answer. He just turned to Ava, who was trembling, glass in her hair. He brushed it away gently, his thumb grazing her temple. You okay? He asked. I'm fine, she said, breathless. You? I've had worse nights. He smiled faintly, and she almost laughed despite the tears in her eyes. Mateo? She whispered, her voice breaking. I thought you... He didn't let her finish. His hand slid to the back of her neck, and before she could think, his lips were on hers. Firm, desperate, real. The kind of kiss that erased every fear, every noise, every piece of the world that wasn't them. When he finally pulled back, his forehead rested against hers. You don't get to be scared alone anymore, he said quietly. Ava's eyes filled with tears. Then don't you dare disappear on me again. I won't, he said. Not unless I take him down first. Outside, sirens wailed in the distance. Hayes barked orders into his radio. But inside the wrecked room, Mateo and Ava stood together, bruised, shaken, and bound by something neither of them could fight anymore. For the first time, it wasn't protection. It was love. Raw, unspoken, and real. Rain fell hard over the city, beating against the streets like a warning. From the top floor of the Romano building, Mateo watched the storm through the wide glass windows. He didn't move. He didn't speak. His eyes stayed fixed on the lightning flashes far away, the direction where Rocco Bellini was hiding. Behind him, Ava paced the room, her arms wrapped around herself. The silence between them wasn't cold. It was heavy, charged with everything unsaid since the kiss. She wanted to talk. He didn't know how. Finally, she broke the silence. Hayes says they can't locate Mia's signal. Mateo turned. He's not looking in the right place. She frowned. You know where she is? I know Bellini, he said, voice low. He doesn't change patterns. He hides his leverage where no one looks, inside his own business. Ava's pulse quickened. The gallery? No, he said. The docks. He owns a storage warehouse near the river. That's where he took the others before. She stepped closer. Then let's go. Mateo's jaw tightened. Ava. No, she said firmly. Don't tell me to stay behind. Not this time. She's my friend. He stared at her, the muscle in his jaw flexing, then slowly nodded. All right, he said. But you stay close to me, no heroics. A small, nervous smile touched her lips. You mean like you? He almost smiled back. Exactly. An hour later, the black sedan rolled to a stop a few blocks from the river. The rain hadn't slowed. It fell in sheets, reflecting off the streetlights and water pooling along the dockside roads. Mateo stepped out first, scanning the shadows. Ava followed, pulling her hood over her hair. Luca and Elena waited near the fence, dressed in black, faces set. 2 guards by the north gate, Luca said. 3 more on rotation inside. We jammed their cameras. Mateo nodded. We go quiet. Ava caught his arm. And if it doesn't stay quiet? He looked at her, eyes steady. Then it gets loud. The warehouse loomed over them, metal and silence, broken only by the rain. They slipped inside through a side door. The air smelled of oil and dust. Boxes stacked to the ceiling, a faint hum of machinery. And beneath it, a sound that made Ava's stomach twist, a muffled sob. Mateo raised a hand for silence, then led the way, moving like he'd done this 100 times. They found Mia tied to a chair in the center of the room, surrounded by 2 guards. Ava gasped, and one of the men turned, but Mateo was already moving. 2 shots, clean and fast. The guards dropped. He ran to Mia, cutting the ropes with a knife from his belt. Mia looked up, dazed, tears mixing with the rain dripping from the ceiling. Ava, she whispered. Ava fell to her knees, hugging her tightly. It's over. You're safe. But Mateo's face didn't relax. His instincts screamed otherwise. Get her out, he told Luca. Now. Luca nodded and lifted Mia carefully, leading her toward the back exit. Ava stood, turning toward Mateo. You're coming? Before he could answer, a familiar voice echoed from the shadows. Leaving so soon? Bellini stepped out from behind a stack of crates, a pistol in his hand, and that same cold smile on his face. "I have to admit," he said, "you're harder to kill than I expected, Romano." Matteo didn't flinch. "You talk too much." Bellini's eyes flicked toward Ava. "And you've caused me a great deal of trouble." Ava met his gaze. "You did that yourself." He laughed softly. "You think this changes anything? There'll always be another man like me." Matteo took a step forward. "Maybe, but not tonight." Bellini fired first. Matteo dove behind a metal beam, returning fire. The echo filled the warehouse. Sparks flew as bullets hit steel. Ava dropped to the ground, covering her head. Bellini shouted, "You can't protect her forever." Matteo's reply came low and lethal. "Watch me." He moved fast, closing the distance. When Bellini's gun clicked empty, Matteo was already there, grabbing his arm, slamming him against the crate wall. The gun hit the ground. They fought hard, heavy hits, short breaths, anger years deep. Bellini reached for a knife, slicing Matteo's shoulder. He grunted, grabbed Bellini's wrist, twisted, and disarmed him. "You think you're the hero," Bellini hissed. Matteo drove him back another step. "No," he said, "I'm the consequence." The final blow sent Bellini to the floor. The knife skidded away. He didn't move again. Ava rushed forward, eyes wide, hands trembling. "You're bleeding." Matteo looked down at the cut on his shoulder. Deep, but not fatal. "I've had worse." She pressed her hands against it anyway. "Don't say that." He looked at her, her face pale but fierce, eyes filled with tears she wouldn't let fall. "You shouldn't be here," he said quietly. "I told you," she whispered, voice shaking. "You don't get to protect me alone." He smiled faintly through the pain. "You're impossible." "Good," she said. "You need someone impossible." Her hands were still on him, her breath still uneven, but her eyes never left his. "You saved me twice," she said. "Now let me save you." He frowned softly. "You already did." Police sirens began to wail in the distance. Hayes's voice crackled through the comms. "We've got units moving in. Get out of there." Luca's voice followed. "Mia's safe. We're clear." Matteo looked toward the door. "Let's finish this." Ava helped him up, his arm around her shoulder. They walked out into the rain, the storm washing away the smoke and the past all at once. By the time Hayes's team arrived, Matteo was already bleeding through his shirt, but he refused medical help until Ava and Mia were safe in the ambulance. Hayes approached him. "You always leave a mess," he said, "but at least this time it's a good one." Matteo gave a tired grin. "Glad to hear you admit it." Hayes sighed. "Go home, Romano, before I remember you're still technically a criminal." Matteo's eyes flicked to Ava, sitting inside the ambulance, holding Mia's hand. "Maybe I'll think about it." Hours later, at dawn, the rain stopped. The city was quiet again, washed clean. Ava sat on Matteo's balcony, wrapped in his jacket, watching the first light spread across the skyline. He stepped out beside her, his arm bandaged. "You should be sleeping," he said. "I could say the same to you," she answered softly. He sat down next to her, and for a moment neither spoke. Then Ava turned to him. "What happens now?" Matteo looked at her, eyes tired but warm. "Now you live, without fear." "And you?" He hesitated. "I don't know what I'm supposed to be after this." She smiled gently. "Maybe just a man." He let out a quiet laugh. "That's harder than it sounds." She reached out, touching his hand. "Not if you let someone help." He looked down at their hands, then back up at her. "And you'd help a man like me?" "I already did," she said, "and I'd do it again." Their eyes met, and for once there was no tension, just peace. He reached for her, slow and certain, and when their lips met, it wasn't out of fear or desperation. It was love, real, grounded, and earned. When they finally pulled apart, Matteo whispered, "You know, when I first saw you make that signal, I thought I was saving you." She smiled softly. "And now?" He brushed his thumb against her cheek. "Now I think you saved me." Weeks later, the city returned to its rhythm. Bellini's empire collapsed. Tyler disappeared into prison records. Ava reopened her studio, sunlight spilling across framed photographs. On the shelf, beside her camera, stood a single white tulip in a glass vase, a quiet reminder of the night everything changed. The bell above the door rang. She looked up and smiled. Matteo stood there, wearing that same calm expression, holding 2 cups of coffee. "I didn't know if you'd be open," he said. "I am," she said. "Always." He stepped closer, setting the cups down. "You still make the best coffee? You'll have to stay long enough to find out." His smile deepened, the kind of smile that reached his eyes, the kind that belonged only to her now. They didn't need to say more. The past was behind them. The city outside moved on. And in that small studio, 2 people who had both been broken learned how to breathe again, together. If you enjoy stories like this, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. That's how I'll know you truly liked it. Even if you're watching on your TV, grab a second to join this family of fans who love emotional and heartfelt stories. Your support means everything, and it helps us bring you even more tales like this one.